We are talking about the entrepreneur. There is
Correct.
self-entrepreneur.
Correct.
मालक भी है, चालक भी है.
But मेरा एक मानना है, even pollution control cannot be on the back of paying a premium. It has to be either parity or lesser
Right,
than the
parity.
existing. So आपके हिसाब से there's
So
some-
government have to spend on this because it's the responsibility of the government. The targets are been given to the RT officer, traffic authorities. कि आपका ये टारगेट है, आपने एक महीने इतने चलान करने हैं.
बराबर.
गलती की या नहीं की, आपको इतने चलान करने हैं. See, the changes are happening.
Okay.
And every change is for better. And the person who will adapt with the changes will sustain. The person who will not adapt with the changes will perish.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of our conversation with a person of prestige, Bal Malkit Singh ji, who is here on our show. And you've heard part 1, very interesting conversation. And let's get quickly to part 2, where we are going to talk about the future of logistics, future of road transport in India. So, आप बोल रहे हैं, so the technology is there, the intent is there. I think it's more of the infrastructure coming in place for making sure. So I think what is really required is what is really the ground level issues of the driver when he's on the road. That's one of the things. Second is about making sure this becomes a slightly more better place for the drivers to come on board and work in this ecosystem. One interesting thing, and I was reading about it, is there's a lot of drivers who are not preferring to move outside India rather than work in India. Are you seeing this as a big trend and of people moving to Europe and other countries where they get a better pay, they get a better infrastructure? Are you seeing this as a big trend, also adding to the lack of drivers?
This was the trend a few years back.
Okay.
People were moving to the, you can say, Arab countries, Europe, USA, Canada, because they were better paid there.
Got it.
Another thing is that the जो छोटे स्टेट हैं वहां पर भी बहुत डेवलपमेंट आ रही है.
बराबर.
उनको वहीं पर भी जॉब्स बहुत मिल रहे हैं.
They don't have to go outside to get a better.
They don't want to have to go outside for the jobs because there are the job opportunities for them there also. So the basic thing is that new generation unemployed youth, in spite of the better payment in the driving, is not willing to join this profession.
Correct.
Due to the conducive atmosphere is not available to them.
So it's not necessarily money, it's the atmosphere.
It is atmosphere.
It is the atmosphere.
Money is the different part. आदमी बोलेगा यार 8 घंटे नौकरी करूंगा, 20,000 मिलेगा, चलेगा, घर पे तो हूं मैं.
बराबर.
40,000 45,000 मिलेगा, लेकिन सड़कों पे जाऊंगा. You see what is the condition on the roads. I have stated that 47,000 is a bribe paid by trucker.
47,000
crores annually, yeah?
Annually.
Now, this is a study by the Safe Life Foundation.
This is something of a huge something which everyone needs to be conscious of. But Malkit Singh ji, एक ऐसा होता है ना कि when we look at the other side, we look at the enforcement authorities, they have a different view. They say, okay, our transport drivers drive rash on the middle of the road, and all. So hence they use that as a reason to say, okay, they have to take a slightly aggressive view on enforcement. What is your take on that? Because it's always
technology driven enforcement should be done.
Okay. What does it mean?
With technology is available. There are the cameras all across the. You should put the cameras all across the highways. You have the
Right.
If there is any traffic violation, give us the evidence and make the challan. What is the problem? But what is the need to? I am doing the rash driving, and they will be stopping me, and then make me accountable. That is not the thing. नाके लगते हैं. For what purpose the nakas on the highways?
Correct.
What purpose? You want to check my document? It is available online.
Absolutely.
You check my consignment? It is available online.
Absolutely.
So with the handheld devices, you check, monitor everything. Why the vehicle should be stopped and asked to produce the permit?
Got it. So I think that's what you're trying to say is there's enough technology, there's enough, everything is there. It's just a matter of putting it into the right practice.
Right. The mentality of the enforcement authorities have to be changed, especially the field officer.
Got it.
But the government had making this sector as a revenue generator. The targets are been given to the RTO officer, traffic authorities कि आपका ये टारगेट है, आपने एक महीने इतने चलान करने हैं.
बराबर.
गलती की या नहीं की, आपको इतने चलान करने हैं. This mentality of the government also has to be changed. There should be no target system. Now today you see, if you read the Hindustan Times e-challan,
Yes.
the target are given to the officers.
Yes.
And the vehicle which are standing idly parked and been from their mobile, they are clicking the pics and sending to the head office, and they are meeting their target. दिन भर वो बैठे रहेंगे. शाम को 5 बजे आएंगे, अपने मोबाइल से फोटो खींचेंगे 10-20 भेज देंगे, टारगेट इज मेट.
Malkit Singh ji, what I just realized the enormity of the problem, to be honest. But I want to just step back and come to you as a person who's seen over the last 40-45 years. What are some of the progress that has happened also? And you mentioned technology, but I just want you to, what are the things that you feel when you started your journey and today where you are, what are some of the good things that have happened in this space? And where do you think from here on, what are the 3-4 things that need to happen immediately?
See, the changes are happening.
Okay.
And every change is for better. And the person who will adapt with the changes will sustain. The person who will not adapt with the changes will perish. So I've seen the changes in this sector. With the technology, very easily everything has been monitored. By sitting in your office or your mobile, you can have the complete control of your vehicle.
Correct.
And with that, now we are talking about IoT, AI, algorithms. So various technology has been adopted by the sector. Vehicles are in very good condition. There is very less wear tear, and authorized centers are there. So maintenance is not at all the issues. Breakdowns is not the issues.
Okay.
But in spite of that, the turnaround time has been not there.
Okay.
So changes are there, and changes will happen. And with the change only, we can move ahead.
But you think the OEM side also, do you think any changes in positive changes that you have seen, largely from the manufacturers also? Have you noticed something which is happening in the ecosystem right now from a vehicle perspective?
See, the manufacturing, they have one only purpose, to sell their product. जितना उन्होंने इंडस्ट्री के लिए करना चाहिए, आज उनकी गाड़ियां बनती हैं, ड्राइवर होंगे तो गाड़ियां बिकेंगी और चलेंगे.
बराबर.
तो जो उन्होंने करना चाहिए उतना, व्हाट आई पर्सनली फील, क्या उतना नहीं हो रहा है.
So this could be a call out to the OEMs to come together and try
Definitely.
to do something for the, like you rightly
They should be
said.
very serious. If you are manufacturing your unit, you will not able to sell because there is no ability of the driver. In spite of the opportunity I am having, the contract I am having, the loads I am having, but who will ply that vehicle?
So you're seeing some kind of investment from these OEMs, or expecting them to invest in driver training, etc., at the scale that what you are looking at. But
see there,
yeah, but I also think of this as a scale issue, right? So
driver institute are there, driver training center are there all across the country. The thing is that the driver which are trained there are opting for a local jobs.
Okay.
ओला, उबर, प्राइवेट कार्स, उसमें जाते हैं, पर क्यों गाड़ियों में नहीं आ रहे हैं. अगेन द थिंग इज व्हाई,
because they would rather stay home locally rather than take a journey and a difficult journey on the roads with the bad infra.
They can take that.
Okay.
But is there, again I come repeatedly coming to that only. Is there conducive atmosphere? Is there seamless journey?
So they would rather stay in their cities,
right,
take up a Ola, Uber job or a
Right.
local delivery job, than to take long distance.
Right.
But you're saying that this is the long haul, largely challenge around the long haul.
I have seen the drivers which have long haul, they have come to the cities. मेरा ही ड्राइवर है, बोलता मैं पहले गाड़ी चलाता था, अभी मैं कर, बोला कारण क्या? बोलता ठीक है, 8 घंटे नौकरी करते हैं, घर पे जाते हैं, सो जाते हैं.
But typically, a driver on the long haul, how many kilometers does he day? On an average, long haul पे अगर driver truck चला रहा है last mile, on the first mile,
Around 300, I told you.
300
Whereas
kilometers.
the express delivery, they make around 700 kilometers.
Got it. Got it. So that's the kind of an
Yeah.
average. Good. This is where what we are going to now shift to some conversation about you as an individual. While you introduced yourself, there are some aspects of you. You have been a hockey player. You have been chairman of the federation of the Mumbai hockey team as well. So you're very closely associated with the Khalsa College, which I visited last year for a very different reason as I, I was part of the convocation ceremony.
Okay.
So let us step back to you as an individual entrepreneur. And you said that you're a second generation entrepreneur. Your father built it up. Tell me about your journey as an entrepreneur in the logistics space, because many people want to, like you said, uh, think of this as an option, but not necessarily they really don't know what is the journey of an entrepreneur in the logistics space. And how big, how did you create Bal Roadlines? How big is it right now, if you could just tell us?
My journey as a entrepreneur, as I stated that it is a second generation I am there.
Okay.
My father has made this company. Very slowly, gradually, steadily, I am taking it to the higher path
Okay.
with the support of my children. And it is very interesting. And I suggest to the younger generation also that you be part of join your family business, because of lately we have seen there was a trend that our generation were not willing to come into this business.
Okay.
जैसे आज ड्राइवर नहीं आ रहे हैं ना, वैसे हमारे बच्चे भी नहीं आते थे.
अच्छा.
कईयों के बच्चे बाहर चले गए थे. हमको आपका काम नहीं करना है.
But
दिस इज नॉट बड़ा हार्ड है, बड़ा ये है, बड़ा चैलेंजिंग है. But with the technology and mentality and the system which are changing very fast, I'm happy to see that our younger generation is joining their family business and growing in a very systematic way.
So, as an entrepreneur, what are some of the in this space? What are some of your individual challenges you faced? When you were, how, let's say when you started off to today, how big is Bal Roadlines, if I may ask?
See, we have around 250 to 300 vehicles,
Okay.
which is owned by us. So challenges is the part of the any business. You have to overcome these challenges.
Absolutely.
Then only you will be successful. अगर challenges के नीचे दब गए, then you will be out. So our logistic is the challengeful job, and we overcome, and with so much year of experience, now it is very easy to tackle any challenges.
Bal Malkit Singh ji, one more question I have, largely from a person who has seen the ecosystem grow, move, improve, however you want to put it. Tell me one thing. What are some of the ownership models which are changing? Like today, there is this thing about aggregator model. I don't own the vehicle, but I pick up the vehicle from someone who has. This is one question I had. What is happening in that space? And second one was about the ownership angle. Whether earlier there used to be a pride about owning a truck. Is it now moving to a lot of large fleet operators? So these are the two questions I had and wanted your view. How is the ownership ecosystem and models changing in the transport business?
The ecosystem is that still 85% are the small road transport operator.
And when you say small, how many vehicles?
Small road transport operator. That is between 1 to 8 vehicles.
1 to 8 vehicles.
1 to 8 or 1 to 10 vehicles.
Okay.
They have been termed as a small road transport operator, which account to 85% of the entire ecosystem.
Oh.
So previously गाड़ी वाला था, जिसके पास गाड़ियां 10-15 वो फ्लीट ओनर था.
बराबर.
One was a contractor.
Correct.
Who used to have the large contracts from the bigger corporates in way of the tender system and all that.
So, Malkit Singh ji, you made a very interesting point around 80% of the entire transport industry ownership lies with the small fleet, small operators, as they say, 1 to 10 vehicles.
Yeah.
But what's happening over there? Is there some transition moving towards lesser of small operators to large fleet operators? Is there some transition happening there? What's your take?
Previously, there was a fleet owner, small road transporter fleet owner, and one was a contractor who used to take the contracts from the big corporate houses or the PSUs, and the fleet owner used to supply the vehicle to that contractor.
Right.
In between, there was a broker.
Okay.
Through broker, he was the conduit between the contractor and the fleet owner. And of lately, what happened? Fleet owner also had become the transporter.
Okay.
They have their own contract. They have their own fleet.
Got it.
And similarly, now the contractor have also have their own fleet.
Okay.
अगर आपके पास कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, आपके पास गाड़ियां नहीं है, तो आप काम नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो विद द जीएसटी देयर लॉट ऑफ एडवांटेज एफसीएम के चक्कर में, तो जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर भी थे उनको भी अपनी फ्लीट रखनी पड़ रही है, और जो फ्लीट ओनर है वो भी अपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ले रहा है.
तो आप बोल रहे हैं जो इट इज मूविंग टू ओन योर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, ओन योर फ्लीट,
या
काइंड ऑफ
ओन योर
मॉडल.
फ्लीट. एंड इन दिस जो स्मॉल रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑपरेटर है, वो इसके बीच में कहीं एडजस्ट नहीं हो रहा.
ओके.
ड्यू टू द ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट गोइंग अप, फ्रेट रेट्स, इकोनॉमिकल वाइबिलिटी नहीं है. They are not able to sustain, and they are gradually getting out of this business,
So you
which
see,
is also not good for the country.
why do you say?
See the thing, अब 1 करोड़ गाड़ी का कुछ 15-20% लोग काम नहीं कर सकते. They should be the part of this
Ecosystem.
logistic.
Correct.
So their interest should be also be protected. So we are making to the state government that section 67 is there, but economical viable freight should be given to them, and it should be decided by the government.
So what you're saying, it should not be get so organized in such a way and gets consolidated towards a very few fleet operators. It needs to stay open for. But then since
because it is a livelihood of for them 85%, 20 crore if people are associated.
Right.
So the livelihood has been should be protected.
Right.
देश चल रहा है, उनके बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं, बच्चे पल रहे हैं. They are the self-entrepreneur. We are talking about the entrepreneur. They are the self-entrepreneur.
Correct.
मालक भी है, चालक भी है.
Yes, बराबर, मालक चालक वाला जो.
तो मालक भी है और चालक भी है. वो मालक भी नहीं रहेगा, चालक भी नहीं रहेगा, तो उसका घर कैसे चलेगा?
बराबर.
आज अपना घर चला रहा है, बच्चे 2 होंगे 3 होंगे, उनको पढ़ा रहा है, अपनी रोजी रोटी कमा रहा है, तो उनका इंटरेस्ट शुड बी प्रोटेक्टेड. द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ मालक चालक शुड बी प्रोटेक्टेड.
क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, बहुत बारी ऐसा सोच होता है कि द मोर कंसोलिडेशन देयर विल बी बेटर efficiencies, but what you're saying is not necessarily. There is certain element of this element of chalak malak should continue because there's a larger livelihood aspect to it.
See, consolidation should be there, efficiency होनी चाहिए, but it is a so vast sector, so vast.
Correct.
उनकी सस्टेनेबिलिटी कैसे हो? ऐसे सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी.
Correct.
I'm talking as a social responsibility.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And be of the overall development of the country, overall development of this state, overall development of the people who are involved with this state. Okay, they can also progress. वो कैसे अपना घर चला सकेंगे? So this as a social responsibility I am talking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One more question I had, two largely around this, is the last mile logistics that you see about this gig economy. आपके घर पे delivery होता है. These are drivers who can use any other vehicles, etc. One, does it come under the ambit of what you're running under the AMTC? Is it? And second, what is your take on that entire? Because even that is road transport to a certain. Yes, of course it is. What are any take on what's happening over there? Because that model has totally become a different model. It's a gig economy model. मेरा गाड़ी नहीं, कुछ नहीं, मैं लेता हूँ 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler and I start running it. Anything on that side? That would be an interesting take from your perspective.
इसके ऊपर हमने सोच नहीं किया, उसकी एक अपनी टू व्हीलर है, उठाया माल डाल दिया। अल्टीमेटली दे विल गेट ऑल्सो ऑर्गेनाइज्ड एज अ थिंग्स आगे बढ़ेगी तो भी अपनी ऑर्गेनाइज होंगे, क्या क्या करना है, कैसे करना है। तो दे आर नॉट पार्ट ऑफ राइट नाउ, दे आर नॉट पार्ट, बट मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि हम कॉमर्शियल ट्रक्स के लिए थे। जब
बराबर।
ड्राइवर का मुद्दा है 106(2) का,
हाँ,
इवन ऑटो रिक्शा ड्राइवर्स और टैक्सी ड्राइवर, ओला उबर के भी ड्राइवर हमारे साथ में जुड़ गए।
बढ़िया।
They realize that that is the only organization who has taken up with the matter right
Got it.
way to the government of India and get it resolved.
So this is I think the point has come in time to ask you about the future as well, right? Like I said, transport by itself, the logistics industry has evolved, and suddenly there's this huge conversation about clean mobility, sustainable mobility, electric vehicles, hydrogen, CNG, and all this. Your perspective on what's really happening in that space, because I personally come from the clean mobility space, so I will have a biased view, but I always wanted to talk to you to understand, a person who has seen the ecosystem over the last couple of years, where do you see this going, this entire EV thing, the hydrogen business? What's your take?
बातें बहुत हो रही हैं,
Okay.
लेकिन चेंज बहुत धीरे पेस से हो रहा है. इट इज वेरी स्लो. वी आर मूविंग टू दिस.
Okay.
The reason or one, there is the infrastructure is not available, which you will agree with me. Production facilities, we are talking about hydrogen, production facilities, refueling center, LNG, and then how much cost it will be.
Okay.
Mass adaptation should be there. एक गाड़ी में ले लूंगा, 10 गाड़ी ले लूंगा, उससे नहीं होगा. लाखों गाड़ियां बिकनी चाहिए. Initial cost should be affordable.
Got it.
For that, there should be a discount, subsidies, buying of the second-hand vehicle.
Big point. Second-hand vehicles पे क्या?
आप गाड़ी लाओ, ये गाड़ी ले जाओ, इतना पैसा भर दो.
बराबर.
ये टीवी आपने लगाया, पहले इट वाज लग्जरी, घर में एक ही टीवी होता था.
बराबर.
वो भी आदमी सोचता था कि मैं लगाऊं या नहीं लगाऊं. आज हर एक कॉर्नर पे टीवी लगे हुए हैं. अफोर्डेबिलिटी है ना, प्राइस कम होगी. एक स्कीम आई थी पहले सैमसंग की, पता नहीं सोनी की, 34 के ऊपर 24 फ्री.
बराबर. बराबर.
तो वैसे कुछ स्कीम्स आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स लानी पड़ेगी. तो कोई भी, इट शुड बी मास अडेप्टेशन, अफोर्डेबिलिटी होनी चाहिए और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होना चाहिए. But the things are moving.
Okay.
It will gradually move, but it will take time.
But in between these multiple technologies, be it hydrogen, EV, CNG, other than diesel, any one technology आपको लग रहा है, और as part of the transport association, you feel हाँ ये technology लग रहा है कुछ कर देगी, और any one जिस पे आप bet करना चाहेंगे, other than the existing technology?
Hydrogen maybe the
Hydrogen आपके हिसाब से?
अभी तो पानी में भी गाड़ियां आ रही हैं.
बोल तो रहे.
No, I've seen that video from Toyota.
Toyota वाला जो
So
video चल
you
रहा है.
also seen on the social
Yes,
media.
I've seen it.
They have successfully tested the vehicle which are moving on a water.
तो मैं वो उस पे
So water will be more efficient and sustainable.
तो इनफैक्ट मैं वो सोच रहा हूँ कि वो वीडियो का एक्चुअली कहाँ से सोर्स आया. आई एम ट्राइंग टू चेक द वेरीफाई द ये, क्योंकि बोल रहे हैं टोयोटा, बट यू डोंट नो वेयर इट इज कमिंग.
But it is very authentic. The way he's explaining entire procedure, how it will be done. It seems that something is happening.
Got it. But as an association, you think the association is ready for this transition which is happening from a fuel system perspective? The association being ready. I'm not talking about the ecosystem. Ecosystem अपने आप मेरे हिसाब से बनता रहेगा, but
it will be very slow. Our reservation is that the affordability.
Affordability is the primary. तो पहले ही कॉस्ट पे और ये और कॉस्ट ना बैठ जाए.
Affordability.
But do you also think, क्योंकि ये टेक्नोलॉजी है जहाँ पर upfront cost is higher, गाड़ी is slightly expensive than diesel, hence it may not be adopted by the individual or small fleet operator. They just largely go with large companies like you and others who will go pick up the new technology before this?
I have to spend a huge amount for buying of this type of the vehicle.
Correct.
Then the mentality of the corporate will be that
Hmm.
cost cutting. उतना भाड़ा कम कर देंगे. Basically, why we are transforming due to the emission and all that.
Correct.
To bring that down. वो मेंटेलिटी होनी चाहिए कि पोल्यूशन को कैसे कंट्रोल करना है.
बट मेरा
कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव नहीं होना चाहिए.
बट मेरा एक मानना है इवन पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल कैन नॉट बी ऑन द बैक ऑफ पेइंग अ प्रीमियम. इट हैज टू बी आइदर पैरिटी और लेसर देन द एग्जिस्टिंग. सो आपके हिसाब से देयर
सो गवर्नमेंट हैव टू स्पेंड ऑन दिस बिकॉज़ इट्स द रिस्पांसिबिलिटी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट.
गॉट इट. गॉट इट.
They have the international agreement.
Yes.
They have to cut down emission by year so much. And government had to spend on this.
But you're saying there is still time. So from a association perspective, or essentially from an entrepreneur perspective who's in this space, you're feeling the affordability of vehicles is going to be the key.
Yeah.
Absolutely the key aspect.
Affordability and what cost saving will be for me. And I am conducting a study. Vasudha Foundation has been having the entire roadmap of my company. What will be the saving if you convert to the alternative fuel?
Alternative fuels. And I like the way you put it. Alternative fuels rather than just a very specific EV or a hydrogen view, right? It's an alternative fuel ecosystem that you should be.
Yeah, EV is there. LNG is there. Okay. Which is much talked about. Okay. Hydrogen is there.
Good. So this is a very interesting view on your. So it's more about you being aware rather than you being. Right now, adoption is not there, but more awareness is.
Yeah, awareness is there, and mentally, people are getting prepared also.
But is the association...
Ultimately, we have to transform. But how the things will move ahead, it is to be seen.
But is the association doing something about awareness? Do you have internal conversations around this?
No, right now, no.
Not right.
No, right now.
Got it. Good. Coming to now.
आज जो चल रहा है उसको संभालने बहुत है.
बहुत. No, this वो सही बताया आपने because
तो आज कैसे चल रहा है? We are talking more about that.
That than the
how we have to survive in the current scenario.
But आपको कभी ऐसा नहीं लगता कि अरे if you don't talk about what's going to happen later, suddenly we'll get caught out, जिसको बोलते हैं ना कि कुछ इकोसिस्टम चेंज हो गया, ऐसा आपको नहीं लग रहा?
We will not be caught out.
That fear is not.
हम रहेंगे तो सब हो जाएगा.
अच्छा.
अभी निकल जाएंगे तो फिर आगे क्या करेंगे?
Perfect. Good. Now coming to a personal aspect of you, Bal Singh ji. I've seen, the more I read about you, the more I realize that there's so much about you. The fact that you are associated with so many entities. You're a social worker as well. Not many people know that. Part of the Mumbai Hockey Association. You are involved with the Guru Khalsa College as well. As an entrepreneur, other than the fact that you're doing so many things, how do you typically spend your day? What does a day in your life look like?
The day is very good, and I do with very ease, in a relaxed way, with my management.
Okay.
With time management, I have the priority of the work which is to be done, and first priority is my business. Absolutely.
Got it. Got it.
Business है तो हम हैं.
Got it.
Then accordingly, I arrange the day accordingly, systematically with priorities. अगर priority social काम की है तो वो पहले है. Today this was a priority. So in the morning I had come here.
Thank you so much for that.
So accordingly, I have organized the day. I lined up the activity. Okay. What is my 3 o'clock activity? Then I will go to the office. So within a systematic planning, organizing a day is the most important to be a successful entrepreneur and for a successful in your organization.
Got it. And you're based out of Mumbai only, right? That's where your office is.
I brought up in Mumbai. I have schooling I have done in Guru Nanak High School, Saint Koliwada, and then my higher education at Guru Nanak Khalsa College. Then I joined my business, family business.
Bal Malkit Singh ji, it has been a privilege of mine to be hosting you on this podcast. For someone of your experience, expertise, and the person who's actually leading an association which I think is responsible for a huge component of the GDP of India.
Right.
It was my pleasure to host you. It's been a wonderful conversation that we had, and you've been very candid about what you felt about it. As a person personally who has always looked up to you, my thanks to you as an individual, as a company, and I wish you all the very best. I wish you in your work leading as a chairman and also in your own enterprise as well, and for the growth of the logistics mobility ecosystem. I wish you well, and thank you so much for coming on our show. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
sir.
very much. Thank you.
Thank you.